Check. Check. Very good evening. I think there are more students for this class than the regular class. I was coming down, the entire first floor is also full. This floor is also like, arey yaar. So, did somebody break crackers or? Okay. Now, my dear students, it happens, right? I don't know if you have, there's a book called Who Moved My Cheese, you know that? No, we don't have time, only pulse. We don't have time. I think now you have time. It's a small book, it's just around 40 pages. Very simple, I'll just tell you in 2 minutes and then I think we'll get on to the talk of today, okay? There's a cage. Okay? Assume this is a cage. And there was a rat there. For the time being, you assume this to be the rat. Okay? So, the experiment was very simple. Every day they put a piece of cheese over here on one side at a definite time. So this guy knew that at around 12:30 this cheese is always there, so he could always go and take it. And after a few days what they did was they just took the cheese from there and then they kept the cheese over here on the other end of the cage, but the cheese is not visible. They did this in a lot of lab rats. So what happened was these rats, they kept looking, the time went, they saw the cheese was not there, they were disappointed. Second day, again they saw, they waited, the cheese was not there, disappointed. And it went on. Some rats died due to starvation because they thought no food and we are stuck in the cage. Some of them got frustrated. They started walking around and they just peeped. And the cheese was there. And they went and took it. Story is over. Now what has happened is, our goal and everything which we had prepared for December the 19th got little bit postponed to March. I think we should be thankful. It's coming, Baba. Re Bab, Re Bab. Story is not complete. Somebody thought sir has forgotten the date. It's June, sir. No, I'm just saying of this date, not that June, okay. So then on the 6th of March, then, like all of you started getting ready. If the same announcement would have come 1 month back, I think this 1 month also would have got wasted. Luckily it came 2 weeks before, so there's been some studies going on. And then now it's been a little bit more postponed, and if you read the circular very carefully, I think we may expect it in a day or two. Because obviously they have to call up the guys who are conducting the exam, get the date from these centers and all that. So it will take some time. But what I'm presuming is that if they have said very clearly that it should be in and around the NEET PG medical, right? So if that is the case, your exam could be in and around any day after May the 15th. So I think May 15th, May 20th, May 25th, hope not to be in June and things like that. So it's always, as I've said in the voice message just 1 hour back, it's a bittersweet thing, and right, for some students who've been working, it's really difficult. For some who have not been studying, or not saying not been studying, they've been studying, but we always felt there's little time. Please note, I don't think the exam will be postponed beyond that. Okay, so yeah. So so today is February the 18th or whatever. And for all practical purpose, today is over. So you have whatever days are remaining in February, you have the whole of March, you have the whole of April, and let's assume that we have around 15 to 20 days of May. The only fear is they should not take it literally 4 weeks and tell your exam will be in first week of April. Then there will be one more heart attack tomorrow. They have 4 to 6 weeks, so they can do it 4 weeks also. You never know, right? Then it becomes very sad because you're neither here, neither there. So now the condition is like, if it is, they're keeping it in, but they've made it very clear. I'm hoping that they'll not do that. that they've said that it will be in and around the NEET PG time. So you can safely assume that it will be in somewhere around plus May 15. So that roughly leaves us with 3 months of time. Now there are two ways of looking at this thing. One, three months is a big time if you have done a good amount of reading, you have done your foundation, you have done your basic MCQs, you have done the app, you have done your... So your 3 months of time is required for you to sit, read, revise, finish everything. On the other hand, if there are students who are probably, like you still have 1 or 2 subjects to be completed, or you feel that, okay, I've not yet mastered, this is the right time for you to do it. The biggest mistake what all of you can do, my dear students, at this point of time is to relax. I hope you have not booked your holidays. Ting tong ting, which is the nearest hill station close by. If you're in Davangere, to 5 hours Goa only. Some of them whom I know have gone to Goa 3 times in the last 3 months. Arey Bhagwan. They're sitting here only, I know. So don't do that again. Because such opportunities don't come again and again. But one thing for sure is that the level of competition has gone up, I should say at least by 3 times. 3 times. There are students, let's say, who have joined CDs in November and they're reading. I'll show you my phone with the WhatsApps from these people. Sir, if you could complete the clinical part by May, we can compete for this particular examination in the month of May. I'm talking about your juniors. And why not? So check. Sorry, yeah. You all heard of the rat? No, sorry. Let's move on to the rat, please. The tortoise and the rabbit story. What happened there? What's the moral of that story? Slow and steady wins the race. But most of the times when we hear the story, we only focus on slow. Slow. We sometimes forget that there is a word steady after that. You understanding what I'm saying? There is steady also. Not after a break in Goa. Now, so what I'm saying is, this particular rabbit went all the way. This was the finish line. So let's say this is May the 20th or something. You are here, and this was to go. Oh, exams are postponed. Oh. And if you sleep now, there are people over here. There are people here. There are people outside the board also, who also have a hope now. 3 months में पल्स हो जाएगा, ऐप देख लूँगा, पूरा खत्म कर दूँगा. So there are all kinds of people. You understanding, right? There are all kinds of people who are going to get ready now. So if I don't know which part of the race you are in right now, you are here, you're here, you're here. But if you're here, this is the most dangerous position to be. Because you will feel, almost done. It's okay. Let me take some small break here and there. Let me relax my reading. And this is the time when it's going to go ahead. And especially these interns, the fresh interns, it's a wonderful opportunity for all of you. Because you must have probably, you must have done, like let's say if you're in the ranking, I would suggest, let's say, after 1,500, right? In series exams, if ranking is between 1,500 to 3,000 or 3,500, this is an opportunity for all of you who are in that particular range to make sure that you will make up for whatever you have not done and beat them. I'm sorry. All of you are my children, but I have to take care of everybody, right? Now, you have 3 patterns, right? You have 3 things. First and foremost is is, let's say, Pulse, or let's say one of your MCQ books. Why? It is something that you can see, it's something that you can touch, it's something that you can feel, it's something that you used as a pillow. So first things first, look at that book and tell, am I good with this? Am I good with this book? Every time when we write exams, we learn that we're making silly mistakes, we're making silly mistakes, we're making silly mistakes. Every time you go back and, you go back, for example, that simple thing on control to, it's all there, but I have not read the explanations. Even if I've read, I've not read it properly. So you look back and you see how well I can do that part. The second thing is your app. App is not for decoration. It's not a decorative thing in your phone. It's to read. Students, there in the classroom and all that, if you see that there is something called a subject and topic specific MCQs. So for your junior batch, we're going to make it exhaustive. Almost every subject will have around 1,000 MCQs. I don't think you'll get time to do that. But, for example, Perio, you open to Perio and you'll find that from Carranza, you have one of these MCQs. For example, there is a section called dental implant, which has been added. It has around 30-40 MCQs, which will be up. So now is the time for you to explore these things. Whenever I talk to students, sir, I've done Pulse okay, but my app has not been that great. So now you try and give time for this particular thing. First, always, is your book. Again, don't get hyper excited until now I'll sit and make notes. Last 14 months you have not done. Now I'll make notes. No. Okay, if at all you need, it should only be that part which is extremely volatile. The next part is for yourself, is my notes. It is my, what do you say, all my extra books, what I've done. Whatever, all of that comes here. I'm still not telling that the extra books what you've done, whether it is Sharan, whether it is Aurora, whether it is Sparsh Gupta, that is not what you have to give the first priority to. Because again, you will get lost. You know what will happen, my dear students? I have not done Arvind Arora for microbiology. I have not done Sparsh Gupta for pathology or pharmacology. Now let me start doing it. You open that book, you feel excited. Wow, I'm getting the first rank. And you spend 10 days for general path, 10 days for micro, 10 days for physio, over, 1 month is over. In 2 months, you have 17 subjects to complete. And students are studying. Everybody is studying. Competition has gone up by 3 times as on today. 3 times. Many of them have been asking me, sir, initially I used to get ranking of within top 300, now I'm getting rank 600, 700. And most of the times my reply is very simple, sometimes blunt. I tell them, now everybody is studying. Now what's going to happen is, I give voice message, the toppers might not be toppers if you don't hold up there. And on the other hand, it's a wonderful opportunity for everybody who you feel that I have not focused on this part, I have not done this part, I have not done this part. Look into yourself and read it. Master it. You should do that. The worst mistake you can do right now is to take a break. You can reduce your duration for some time if you want to, like instead of studying 10, 12 hours of that intensive. See, it's very simple. It's like a balloon. You keep blowing air into it, keep blowing air into it, keep blowing it until March 6th, you're blowing. Suddenly it bursts. You don't know what to do now. No wonder all of you are in the class today. कुछ करने को नहीं, चलो क्लास में बैठ जाते हैं. We'll listen to this comedy fellow for some time and come back. Right? Listen. You take a break for tonight. Tomorrow, day after tomorrow, whatever announcement happens regarding the date, these 2 mock exams will go as scheduled. You will have a basics mock. Don't mock it. Don't mock it. You give the mock, irrespective of whatever ranking you get. You will have a generalized mock also next Sunday. Let it go as scheduled. Let us not disturb that. Anyway, it's a set of questions. Like for example, last Sunday we realized, oh my God, this is also there. Acha. This question is also there. I didn't know. So like that. As I've told you, it's limitless. So what you can do is, let's finish these two exams on schedule. Take a break for today, but for tomorrow, I would suggest you to get back to your books. First, take time for yourself. Spend 3 hours, 4 hours in planning. First, introspect. Whatever you have felt in the last 2.5 months, we started a crash course from the end of November, that is December. Okay? I'm sure when you're reading a particular subject, you always felt, I couldn't do this, I couldn't do that, I couldn't do this, I couldn't do that. You will be in the same state 3 months from now, provided we do not rectify ourselves at this point of time. What you can do is very simple, to build up the pressure at the end. Okay? What you can do is, this is Feb, let's say 17th or 18th, until April end, you focus on your March end, sorry, you focus on your weak parts, your weak areas, whether it is physio, whether it is dental materials, whether it is ortho, whether it is pedo, and master it. Don't over master it, just master it. Do pulse, do app, capture what you have not captured, classifications what you have not studied, you do it till end of March. April, May, you can sit, your INI-CET is in the second week of May. So, because INI-CET is then, that means, all of you are writing INI-CET. The seats are definitely more than what is there in November. So, you have to now balance for that. So, we will have, the only thing what's going to happen now is, INI-CET is a slightly different ball game because you have to study SR questions. And you see in the INI-CET mocks, and the minute you see those mocks, you realize how different they are compared to the NEET mocks. INI-CET mocks are like on a totally different level. You just look into your paper, you look into your app, look into BDS Next app, and look at the INI-CET mocks, and you'll find that some of the questions make no sense, but they've all been asked for exams. But if you see the NEET mock for throughout the last 2 months, you'll never find any of those obnoxious questions. You find straightforward textbook wala questions. But now, unfortunately, because all of you will be writing the INI-CET in the first or second week of May, and you will be writing your NEET after that, so we have to take you all together. Your preparation should also be together. So you're preparing for both the exams together. It's an opportunity again that all of you are writing, but yes, the competition for both has gone up. Usually what happens is, if the exam was on the 6th of March, by the 20th of March or by the end of March, the results are out, and the top 500, 600 of them do not write INI-CET. I know some of my own students in the top 100, they don't write INI-CET because they're in May, because they're fed up studying, like I can't study more. They don't. But for you, it's a totally different ball game. The entire country, forget country, the entire series is going to write INI-CET in the month of May. That means the competition in the month of May has just increased 5 times for INI-CET. The number of people writing for INI-CET in May is very less. In November, it's a huge number. It's around 10, 12, 13, 14,000. But for the month of May, it's usually 2,000, 3,000. But now, the entire NEET, 50% of that will also be writing for INI-CET in the month of May. So the competition has just gone up by that many more times. Your preparation should be for both the exams. And it's an opportunity for all of you to write, simply because, let's say on 8th of May, you write your INI-CET, and let's say by the 20th or 22nd, whenever, or probably at the end of May, you have your INI-CET, you're still well spaced out. Let's wait for that date, and then I'll make the timetable for you all accordingly. Okay? I'll keep telling you all what to do, I'll keep pushing you all what to do. Do not worry about that. That is my headache. But what you all have to do is not to relax just because there is a small push of this one, and let this bubble break. You should not do that. If you look at it again overall, you know what, my dear students, there are 20 subjects, there's so much of data. Yes or no? Yes. I have taken 16, 17 years into teaching, and I have not mastered them, so you cannot even think of mastering it. We've just done those MCQs. We don't know what is there behind that. That's all that we have done. We have tried to mug up a lot of MCQs. in the limited time that we have. So even if you feel that I have 3 months of time, if you feel that I can relax, I can go home, I can freak out, I can, no. Then you will become like, okay. Then you become like that rabbit. The tortoise, steadily moving, not slowly, steadily moving, can overtake you. On the other hand, all the students who are between 1500 to whatever is your ranking, this is the perfect time. And again, the order should be like this. First is your MCQ book. Second is your app. And third is whatever notes you have prepared, institute club papers, notes, your extra books and all of that. That is the order. We were planning to start off with ICAT mocks by end of March because, you need that much time. It's just 2 months for ICAT. I guess I'll have to start it off a little earlier now. So, I've already told my team to get ready. So we'll see how to work this out. But the only thing from your side is, my dear students, this is a golden opportunity for all of you. NEET is NEET. It's okay. We will write it. But it's an opportunity for you to also appear for the ICAT for that much in demand AIM seat or the PGI seat or the JIPMA seat. You have an opportunity. So why lose it? It's the same subject. Why don't you give it your best shot? That's on the 8th of May. And let's say 15 days after that is your NEET examination. So you have to balance both. And NEET is basics plus clinicals. So if you're preparing for NEET, solely for NEET, I would suggest you to, solely you have to prepare for both, but if your thing is like, NEET, let me just get this NEET on track first, then by end of March, my dear students, your weak areas, there should be no excuse this time. I'm telling you all, no? I can adopt you all. There should be no excuse. You cannot tell me at the end of March that I've still not done ortho, I've still not done pedo, I've still not done community. Then what were you doing? You're not kids now, you're adults. 23, 24, 25. So be responsible. Just know one thing. Competition for ICAT has gone up by 5 times and competition for NEET has gone up by 3 times. Just keep that in your mind and keep repeating it. And you will not waste time. You cannot waste time. If you're in Davangere and if you feel, okay, now I think I should go home and prepare, I will not stop you all, but wherever you are, even if you're going home and you're preparing, please make sure that you can give that 10 or 12 hours of time for your studies. You should. Because exam is not over, my dear students. Exam is not over, just been postponed. It's a momentary happiness. Life will get back to ordinary by tomorrow. Don't worry. That momentary happiness is just that a very transient phase. But one good thing is you have your ICAT, so you can prepare for both. Most of the students otherwise don't write ICAT. Even the toppers don't write. Now you have no opportunity. Everybody has to write your ICAT. You have to write. So we're going to get ready. So you'll have to look back into your red book. There is a medical paper which will be released tomorrow. It has around 400 questions, which are NEET medical questions, which have come for the last 4 years. So you can go through that. You can start off like that. And I'll just wait. I need time for, let's say, 2 or 3 days. Let us wait for the official date. What will be announced by the NBE regarding your exam, so that we can set your timetable through, we can set your course through, and let's see what we can do. Right? So I'll try to club in both the ICAT preparation as well as the NEET, but we will label it like that. INI mock is INI mock, NEET mock is NEET mock. Because when you're writing an INI mock, you have to know that the AIMS gives a lot of questions from the clinical subjects which are done at the PG level. So a lot of questions which might not make sense. So do not worry, but you should get exposed to it. It's an opportunity, especially if you have a category. If you have a category, you should try to catch it, especially in names and JIPMA and all that. So that's one thing. And on the other hand, let's wait for the date and let's get ready. So by end of March, if March is over, for NEET, you have less than 2 months. So that's all, my dear students. Less than 2 months is 3 days per subject. Okay? So even though you feel that it has got postponed, in reality, it is all that much. And I've told you one saying long back, even if the exams get postponed by 1 year, I've told you the experience of your seniors. Some of them, whom I know, some seniors are giving the exam for the 3rd time, some of them the 4th time. And if you talk to them, they still tell me the same thing. So there's still so much to complete. One MD's degree is over. Still they tell sir there's so much to be completed. So if you feel that 3 months is a long time, it's not there. Okay? Right. Now I hope I've put that seriousness into you. That's point number 1. Secondly, nothing to be worried about. Don't be scared. Okay? Competition has increased, but it's okay. I'm going to study, man. I'm going to study. You want to waste your time? No. I'm going to study, right? So we will study. And we will make up for it. Right? You must have heard of the saying, anything that is well planned is 50% done. And that planning, so I can come up with a general plan for the entire Cedees family, but you will make your own plan. And the first thing in your plan is to look at your weak areas. If you do not overcome your weak areas, when are you going to improve? I'm still getting, when we get WhatsApps from students, sir, I'm still not thorough with the synopsis and micro. See, so you have 3 parts. This part you cannot become weak. Why the entire country is doing that? You cannot become weak. You cannot. Because you miss one question here, everybody gets it correct and competition kills you. This is an exclusive material. So do that. And I've told you why you should do more. Why you cannot confine only to Pulse. Why? Because it's very simple thing. I've put that in the voice message, but let me make it very clear. Out of 240 MCQs which come for you all, there are 100 questions only 100 questions which will be straightforward. Water powder ratio, this, that, tuck, tuck. And a student who studied, who's revised, topper will get around, what is this? He also wants a break. The topper will get around 91 or 92 out of 100. He will still not get 100. Even if he's the best of the best, Cedees topper, he will not get. He cannot get. Human error. And an average student will get around 75. So within the top 100 itself, there is a difference of 17 marks. What's gone? In the remaining 140, you will have questions about a particular lesion. Let's say it is on OKC, or it is on amyloblastoma, or it is on some cephalometric angle. So you read that question, you read all the 4 options. The more you have read, you can eliminate. The minute you look at the options, oh, A and D is not the answer, let me look at B and C. So you've eliminated 50%. And how do you get this elimination from? Knowledge. How do you get knowledge from? When you read. So you have to read more. You have to get exposed yourself to more things. Am I clear? Right? See, last paper there was some questions on piezo surgery. So what the mind does not know, I cannot say. You have not studied piezo surgery, all the 3 questions are 0 only. I don't know whether the frequency they're asking 30, 50, 20. हमें क्या फर्क पड़ता है? I don't know only. I don't know this topic. Am I clear, all of you? So we will try pushing you all in some different ways, and because advanced things, whatever is required, try pushing it here, there. You become thorough with whatever you have. You become thorough with whatever you have. Minimize your mistakes. If you're learning from your app, if there are 200 questions in a particular paper, do it quickly first, let's say in half an hour to 40 minutes, not beyond that, and then do the entire 200 questions again and see if you're able to get 200 out of 200. Clear? Perfectionism. Even if you're doing Pulse, do a lot of passive reading. Many of you are doing it. The mistake happens when you do passive reading right from the start. You've not done the explanations also. I'll just mug the answer. That won't work, right? So do passive reading. Take up ortho. Solve each and every question. Now though you'll be knowing the answer directly. But still, do it. Get exposed to it. Read the explanations, okay, briefly. And go back and see if you're able to get all those questions correct. Go back to your mocks. For example, last time's mock, the average for the entire Cedees family was 92 out of 200. That means on an average, 110 questions, nobody had any idea. Or you had, but the tukka, whatever we guessed went wrong. It went wrong. More questions have gone wrong. So what are you supposed to do? Go back and read where all you went wrong. Why you went wrong. How did I go wrong? Capture it. Is that okay, all of you? So let's take it. My only thing is the worst thing is what you can happen is regret, which you should not have. Now we have got time. Even now, if you don't study, or if you feel that I can, waste a little bit of time, after you write the exam now, you will feel so guilty. Ki I had time and why didn't I study? That feeling should not come. No batch has ever in the history, your batch is an amazing batch, got so much time. Nobody. Only my first batch of NEET, their exam was supposed to be in December, it got postponed to March. I was still thinking that is the longest batch. But you all, wow. It's an amazing batch. Okay, so don't worry. So you cannot say I didn't get time, I didn't study. You cannot even tell your parents I didn't work hard. They'll ask you, what the hell were you doing? So there's no excuses. No excuses. Now you have to dream big only. Whatever be your ranking, think big. Study big. Read big. Studying is not a very interesting thing to do. But unfortunately, that makes your future. That makes your future. Even today after so many years, even if I'm in my department, I'm always reading. I may be talking to friends, but I'm reading. I always have books with me. I always carry books. I'm always reading. So some of my colleagues and friends, hey, mad fellow, what you're reading all the time? So I tell them, I'm leading a group of students who are studying 12 hours a day. If I need to guide them, I should be one step ahead of them, no? How can I relax when my students are studying 12 hours a day? I have to study like them. Even today, if I can study, even at my age, I'm not that old, okay, but still. If I can do that much of studies, you can do much more. You can do much, much more. Don't get jealous of students who are studying 12 hours a day. You can also do it. It's not that they have applied some Fevicol and they're sitting there. No. Because that burning desire is there. So you also must learn to apply and sit. Sit on that chair and read. Okay? Take every exam seriously, whatever we give. I need you to go back today, tomorrow, whatever the case may be. Think about where is it that I have to go? For today, you can take a breather, you can relax, talk to your friends, find out that, this and all. Cancel your Goa plans and decide, unfortunately, whatever, and refocus. Yes. Somebody was asking me, sir, what is a word that we have to remember? Now, persist, I'm tired of persist, sir. Give us... Give us a better word. I'm like, acha. It's wonderful, sometimes when students can really chat and, talk. So, bus, sir, persist. And that person is really feeling like, I know the person, because the person, she's been studying really hard for so long. And she said, sir, in Hindi, very nice Hindi. My Hindi is extremely poor, so when I speak. So what she said is, sir, besides persist, put that all that besides persist, any other word you give, sir, I'll try. So I thought, okay, yeah, so many of them that boat, yes. So we'll use a word called focus. Okay, right? So focus. Okay, we'll keep persist for some time somewhere else, right? I'll take it out later. Okay, for time being, let's not persist, but let's focus. Okay, right? So if you understand, so what is the difference, that we'll see later. First, I'll take a class on that later. But for the time being, we're just going to focus. We're just going to focus. We're going to focus. Okay, so yeah. So my dear students, right? So 3 takeaway points. Point number 1, no break. Point number 2. Competition has gone up by 3 and 5 times. Especially those of you who are dreaming of aims, just know that just dreaming will not help. You have to work harder. The third thing is by end of March, so let's say it's 1 month and 10 days from now, try to like rework and finish whatever you are doing so that you will be done. And I need some time until they announce the date, but if they're going to take a long time, then we will announce you a timetable for the INI CET preparation. So you're reading and you have some kind of a deadline so you can finish your portions. Why this test series is important is it gives you a deadline. It gives you focus, so that I know that I have to complete something by the end of this month. I have conservative and prosto. Let me try to read conservative and prosto, and you're writing it with your competitors, so you know where you and how. And every exam. So we've been giving exams since last June. Do you know that? We've been giving live exams since last June. We have finished on 65 exams. 1 year has how many weeks? I don't know. 52 weeks, right? Okay, you need options. Okay, 52, 65, 70. And D, all of the above. Okay, right. So, yeah. So you have those weeks, right? So if you see 52 weeks, you're finished almost 66, 67, 65 papers. So it's been that many live exams that you've been giving. So there's this knowledge inside you, so don't worry, okay? So every time we give an exam, we realize how good we are. I have finished oral path, but I've got 110 out of 200. So you realize how good you are, so there's still scope for improvement, okay? So give every exam seriously, let's work on. So if there is a delay in the date announcement, but as per the circular, they have made it very clear that it should be in and around the NEET PG time. So yeah, and it's a wonderful opportunity for those interns who are probably finished recently or are probably like doing it. Yes, so that eligibility is wonderful for all of you. This is God given. So you have to like intensify your preparation again in the same order. Even if you're in CDs and you have the CDs papers and all that with you, what you can always do is finish your let's say you finish your pulse off for that particular subject, the institute papers off for that particular subject, open to your app and whatever is there, the mock papers for that particular subject, you go through it, expose yourself, explanations, tabular columns, go through it, read it, master it, and bounce back. Okay, so right. One thing you can always do is all of you is in case you feel that there will be something which will help you all. I know that this is like a Pandora's box, but you can WhatsApp me directly if there is something which you feel will help you for the next 3 months. Right, something which you feel will help you all for the next 3 months, then do let us know. Okay, one request was for students who have missed the anatomy classes and all that. So we have taken anat classes for the new batch for the juniors. So we'll put up those anat classes in your app. So I think you can you can use that for revision, so that it will help you out to master out your anatomy, right? So because I think there was a request from many of them, so we need some anat classes and all that. So we'll give those anat classes in your app. The classes what I've taken here. the classroom I've taken for the class one app, sorry, not for the classroom series per se, but so you can view those lectures. This will be for everybody. So that anatomy part I think will be taken care of. So please don't worry. Now, if there's anything else, do let me know. Right? Don't WhatsApp say come home and teach me, sit next to me, all that. No. Okay. Besides that, everything else is okay. Right. So shall we stop? Right. So wish you all the best. Take care. Anything you want to ask me? Everything is clear. Okay. May God bless you. Go. Take care. Bye. Take care. Please go slowly. Huh? Don't hit each other.